thanks for the heckling. I hope it will continue. Good luck. Remember, I've got a microphone, you haven't. So, SCTE. Who knows in here we do training? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 40, 6 out of 40. That's pretty bad, isn't it? Don't think about him. So, 6 out of 40. We don't do a really good job of advertising this, do we then? We need to get a lot better at that. We need to make it more available for everyone as well. How many courses have we got? 11. I'll have a bingo number in a minute. Come on, carry on. Bingo? We have 9 courses. The good thing about these 9 courses is we can do them in different ways. You can study it yourself online. You can go in, have the book, a reference book. We can come out. We can send people around the world to come out and train you. We've done quite a few of those. And sometimes you get that look, when you're looking at people, they go, oh, we didn't know that. The problem is most people get things to work. So the networks are working, but they don't know why they're working. We go around a lot of trade shows looking at people and you sort of, do you know why this works? No. Do you know the reasoning behind it? Do you know the theory behind it? No. Interesting. So what's your idea of the future? Everything's going to be on a passive optical network. That's the way forward. Okay. How does that work? We just put a great big transmitter in there and divide it up. Oh. Then you start discussing all the problems with backscatter and everything, and they're looking at you going, I didn't realise. We need to get better at educating as well. We've also found out education's changing. So learning methods have really changed over the years. It used to be someone standing here, pointing the finger at you, you will learn this. They were just empty vessels. So you were an empty vessel and I know everything and I'm going to give you my knowledge. It doesn't really work that way anymore. It doesn't really work with engineers. What do engineers do when they need information? They go online. Chris Bailey blags it. But everything's transforming. With the new generation, if I tell my son, go in, read a book, huh? You know that thing with paper in it? Huh? Can't I just go on YouTube? Okay. Yeah, how do you turn a book around and open it the wrong way? We needed to also adapt the training. The training needs to be more streamlined to look at the person out there, their ability, the aptitude, and the situation. Technicians do not have time to sit in a classroom anymore. Try and go out to someone and say, right, we're going to be there for a whole week. We want all of your technicians in the classroom for a week. It doesn't really work that way. So we needed to change something as well. So looking at training, all of a sudden, we need to do something different. We're not going to be able to get people into a classroom. But what engineers and technicians do have is time. All of a sudden, they've finished a job early, they've got nothing else to do. So what could you put in that time? Instead of just letting them run around and go and clean your van. You can only clean your van so many times, you can only wash it so many times, you need things in the middle. Send them on a training course. Log on, you can go straight onto our training course, you can follow it through. Once you've finished, we can also track it. So that will give us a lot more advantage. All of a sudden you've got time. So when you're sitting on the train or you're sitting in an airport, a lot of us do sit at airports a lot of the time. We can go on, I can do training. I started looking at what's happening everywhere else. What are people doing in the education sector? These are 2 quotes from education manuals, how to develop learners. A learner is an individual involved in the acquisition of knowledge or skills in a technological learning system. Wow. What does it actually mean? It means people all learn differently and they need it in a way, in a method, to get something, an acquisition of knowledge. How do we all acquire knowledge? Do we all acquire it the same way? No. And then looking at learning again, it's not concerned with one specific method, but methods which benefit in that acquisition or the learning process. As I said before, the SCTE is usually like self-study, tutor-led, classrooms, reference books, and exams. But these are still all lecturing systems. So someone standing here telling you how to do it, you having to gain the knowledge by reading through it. There's no interaction there. There's no fun. Learning for me has to be fun. I get very quickly bored with sitting in front, listening to someone talking to me and telling me what to do, how to do it, this is what you need to do. Because I've got a lot of questions. If you start answering, not being able to get rid of these questions, you get annoyed with it, get bored, move on. A lot of companies are having the same problem. How do you get knowledge into people's heads? You want to do it in a way that's also cost effective. Because what happens if the person you've just trained up to be an amazing engineer leaves? That knowledge also leaves, and you've paid for it. So you want to try and keep that knowledge and be able to replicate the knowledge, but still have different ways of doing it. So we're getting away from the lecturing way of doing things. Mobile technology. People want to have everything with them whenever. If I go for a walk somewhere and just have a little sit down, I can look at this. Oh, I remember this, I want to have a look at it. You can go straight in. These are all things that need to work. If you look at the repositories of knowledge in companies, they're all hidden. You have to know where they are. And it's the same for training. Everything is a repository of knowledge, but it's hidden. We've got the reference books, great. But no one knew we had the reference books, no one knew we had the training, no one knew we can come out and help. So organisations, if you look at them, which the SCTE training is an organisation. It functions with the social, adaptive, learning, alignment. That all works in a business, but it doesn't work with the SCTE. We're here. Where are the members? In businesses, you can go around and send an email around to all of you. You need to do this today, you need to check this, this needs to be done. I want you to learn this tomorrow. The SCTE can't do that. We need things the other way. We need to promote it and say, we've got a load of ways of giving you knowledge, tracking that knowledge, showing what can be better. So the SCTE was also falling short. Reference manuals are great. They're also available online. But it's still a flat feeling of that lecturing, someone standing there. We were trying to get into a way that made it more fun. So thinking about allowing access to knowledge and information whenever, wherever, access to different methods, content, learning steps, individual ways of doing it. Some people take months to take a course, Tim Duke. Some people do it a lot quicker. But also adaptive learning. So taking individuals through at their own pace, 2 months, 3 months, and also adapting it to them. So some people use video, some people want it written, some need visual. So you've got visual, auditory, and kinesthetics. These are the three main ways of learning. So you've got the visual learner. They usually want to be right in the front. So all the people sitting in the front, they want to be where the action is. Tim Duke again. They love visual media, photos, diagrams, maps, graphs. Then you've got the auditories. They're sitting listening. They want things to be there later. They want to learn through it. They want to be able to go back to it. They're the people that record a sporting event and then watch it again to relive that moment. Where the visuals, they saw that moment. They can remember it. Then you've got the kinesthetics. They're very, very difficult. How can you get tactile learning through knowledge exchange? And learning is knowledge exchange. I cannot teach anyone anything if they don't want to do it. So I need that exchange. Are you willing to take this knowledge? I'm willing to give you. You can sit in classrooms trying to teach people and they just look at you. Around about 12 o'clock, they usually go a little bit glassy-eyed and get a little bit bored. Individual learning, making sure it's specific to you, all of you. Not two people in here are going to have the same way of learning. It's not possible. Some people are going to want more knowledge than we can give them. Then we need to guide them in that path. Look at this link, go here. There's more knowledge to be found here, here, and here. The lecturing style is very difficult. There's a curriculum, there's time constraints, you need to get through it, boom, boom, boom. That doesn't work with everyone. And in the jobs we're in, if the phone rings, someone needs something done. You're sitting in training, what are you supposed to do? You leave the training. So the SCTE has taken the reins in this and developed an LMS approach to learning. So a learning management system. This organises all of our learning in one location. One website you go into, you get access to everything. Unlimited access. So if you're sitting there, can't sleep at night because you're worried about fibre optics, you can go online, finish your course off. Gives you more information. You have access to it whenever, wherever. One of the things that's good for a business, we can actually track the learner and track the progress. So if someone hasn't taken the course, we can give them a gentle nudge. We can take them out in front of everyone and say they haven't done the course. It also looks at the performance. For me, knowledge is about being better at something, learning something more. But where do you start? All engineers are amazing at what they do. They've all got areas they're really, really good at. They've all got areas they're bad at. But we're good at blagging our way through and hiding the areas we're bad at. That needs to change. So also in the learning, we're trying to get a benchmark. When they start the learning, we want to benchmark, where is this engineer? Did he get better? I can't go into someone and say, we're going to give you this course. What have you got from it? Who's learned something? Who's become better? How have they become better and why? We can start tracking this. So this bit was really good. They learned a lot from it. Why? It was video. It was important. There was things in it. This becomes difficult all of a sudden if you've only got books. Books, you can't change a book in a day. You can't change a book in a week. And if you put a spelling mistake in there, it stays in there until you print it again. Doing an LMS approach to it, it reduces that learning and development cost. Everything's central. So we can pull things from one course, move it into another course. We can change and put a full stop where it should be. We can do that on the fly, actually while we're sitting giving the course. So all of a sudden, you can change everything. We can also change the language. Google Translate. Put it in there, yeah, translate it. I don't think it makes sense at the end, but it does translate it. But it still works. This is also cutting the learning and development time. Because putting things in there, you can do it whenever you like. You don't have to sit in that classroom. It's convenient and quick. We can expand, we can reduce, we can change it. I don't like page 15. What do we do with a reference manual? You tear out page 15. It looks a bit stupid, but otherwise you've got to get used to it and have page 15 there that no one uses. This also integrates social learning. We've got functions so you can actually go in and talk to the other people taking this course. So all of a sudden, there's more than one person taking this course. Different companies, they can actually talk to each other. We can also talk to them, why they're taking the course. So if someone takes 4 hours getting through a subject, we've probably made a mistake in there. It needs to become better. So we wipe the slate clean. If you go in on the website, www.broadbandtraining.eu/LMS, you can actually get into this site. you can actually create a user. You can actually go online and try one of our courses. We've got a course on there you can go through and get a taste of it to see what it's like. This gives the ability for you to just find out, is this something for us? Does it work for us? How does it work? Is it worthwhile? We've got 9 courses. We can also go through and make specific courses for certain logins. So all of a sudden, you can have a very specific login about health and safety in the company. You've also got a track of it. So if you've got content, we can actually put it onto here. You can deliver it. We can track it for you. He's done that, he hasn't done that. So when you go into the site, you get the chance to create an account or you log in. Now you have the ability to look at all of your courses. So all of your courses will be on here. You can see how much you've gone through, what courses are available. We've also got other courses, just to give you a taster, so you can actually log into them. There is, of course, a fee for logging into it if you do it that way, but we need to pay for ourselves somehow. This doesn't work without it. See in here, there's 5 courses available. We'll take the SCTE summer lecture. This is what it looks like as you log in. It talks you through what you're going to learn, how you're going to learn it. You can see down the side, there's areas we can put webinars in there. We can show other content. We can give a shout out, an announcement. You can also follow your gradebook. You can chat with us. We can chat back. So this one's incomplete. Let's try and complete this course. So if you go in and start the course, we start all of our courses with a look through what the SCTE is, what we're doing, why we do it, how we all sit together, how we have fun events. We use this just as a taster to show what we are. We've got the bursary system. This is also in here, just to keep that knowledge going. There's bursaries, there's things you can do. There's also certification. So once you've been through this course, you print your certificate out. The 9 courses we have on there, they're actually on there. So you can actually see what we have available, how we can deliver them. Some of them are classroom, some of them self-study, but they'll all be on the LMS eventually. So you can actually go through and follow the courses. If we look at some of the content, this is one way of delivering the content. You can sit there, read it through nice and slowly at your leisure. This is one way of doing it. There's also visuals. We can give you pictures. We can show how things are happening, how things move. These are all extracts from real courses. We've just taken them out and put it in here so you can follow it through. Coax cable. What defines the impedance of a coax cable? Anybody? Why is a coax cable 75 ohms?
You're the long or the short answer.
Go for the long one. About 10 minutes. These are all questions that get answered in here. And it's valuable information. Why, when a coax cable gets crushed, is there a problem with it? It's also in there. The impedance changes. Multimode fiber. Actual visuals of how it looks. We can show you why multimode bounces through. We can show light bouncing through it. So instead of just the medium of a book, we can make it interactive. We can actually show things. We can also force you to click on things. Is this a category 10 cable? Is this the 10G logo? We can do all of that on here. If there's something you want more of, we can just keep adding it. And this can be updated daily. It adds to everything. Next. you can do everything in this. So you can go backwards and forwards. You can also look at the content. So you can actually look at what you're going to go through. And it also tracks where you are in here. So have you done everything? There's also questions. One of the ways of making sure knowledge is in there is answering a question. It forces you to do things. We've made this course for you here. So now we're going to start asking some of these questions. TV broadcast is a term of point-to-point, is a form of point-to-point communication. Yes, true or false? Everyone say false? False. We'll tick off false. Lucky, the answer is correct. And this will follow you through everything, asking you, making sure you've understood it. It forces you to go back if you don't get it right. What does the acronym LASER stand for? Why? This is not the Mike Thornton course, come on. Everyone agree on LASER? It should be right. Let's have a little look. Well done, Mike. Yeah. Oh, they don't get more difficult, don't worry. It's a good idea not to carry out online banking at an airport. True or false? True? I probably wouldn't do it at an airport either, unless I was... It depends how the internet is there. The SCTE will celebrate a milestone in 2020. Which? The 75th? 20,000 members? Presenting 500 lectures? Or its 50th? It will be the 75th year. This hex number. Now, if anyone's used hex, they should be able to do this pretty quickly. Which one is it? The first, second, third, or fourth? The third one? Let's try the third one. Did everyone listen to Tim? Well done, Tim. That was my phone number when I was a kid, so it's the only reason it's there. Snell's law defines the velocity of propagation. Everyone say false? Anyone say true? They're pretty good. This is...
We're cracking through these questions. Either that or they want lunch.
That's why we're forcing them through it now. What is the speed of light in a vacuum? Anyone else got any answers? There was the fourth one. Is there any others?
Did somebody say 4?
The fourth one.
The fourth one.
Yep. Any others? 3 isn't far off. We'll take 3 as well. Can we have 1? If you look at them, are they all right? All of them are right.
This is
50%.
yeah, but this is a contrary to standard questions because we only ever used to do one answer.
This adds another dimension to it, because it always used to be a true or false. Which one answer? All of these are right.
But you want one to go off.
Yeah, this one does 50%, so it won't. Failed. Oh dear, you know what you have to do? You're going to have to retake that one. Why did we fail? passed. So this is a way of getting people to think differently. Everyone really thinks there's one answer that's right. Well, not really. It'll also go through, once it is right, it'll show you your answer to make sure was the answer that's correct. But every time you do this, we also track it. So all of a sudden, if you've taken a question 50 times, it's going to be fun. You'll probably get a phone call from one of us just asking, is everything okay? Or has your mouse got problems or your internet? A computer network connector. Which one is it? The blue one. This forces you to actually click on something. So now you have to click on that. Not as a computer network.
Which one are we going for?
We're going for the blue one.
You want the blue one?
Yeah, they want the blue one. They want the coloured one. I don't know why. Is it right?
Don't know, the internet's dropped out.
The internet's dropped out again, so it was right. So all of a sudden we've changed the way of thinking, looking at it, giving you feedback, giving you ideas. Identify the SC connector. The one on the left, my left, your left. I can't see it. Again, the blue one?
Not the right-hand one?
No.
What about the middle one? It could be the middle one. Actually, it is.
How do you know? You haven't been on the courses. Come on.
It is a connector.
Let's take the blue one.
Sport.
I know. All of these questions have a time limit as well. So if it takes too long, we've got a problem. What is the Cat 6 cable here?
We've got one.
The right one? Yep.
So we're going for the right one?
We're going for the one with the divider membrane. Yes?
Ooh.
Ooh. We're getting all technical. It's dangerous now. That was right as well. So now
May not work.
you've done the course. You've actually passed it. Yeah, I don't know where it's going to come out. I'm a little bit worried if someone feels a page coming out. We found the printer. But again, all of this is straight away. You get input. Everything comes back to you straight away. There's no sitting, waiting. There's no guessing. And if there's a problem, you can just write in, I didn't understand that. Why did you use this word? Why did you use that word? What's everything? We can go in and explain it. It makes it a lot easier. So it's like having a teacher sitting at home with you. And we are watching it as well. So we can also give information back to the companies that have paid for that course. Who's done it, who's not done it, how long did they take to do it, which one, where did they have problems, what was good, what was bad. We can look at all of that, we can evaluate it and give them feedback. We can actually add things. So if there's an area where when you tighten up this connector, we want you to tighten it to 30 inch-pounds, or we want you to tighten it until it squeaks, or we want you to tighten it until it breaks. Which is the right way of tightening a connector? Squeaks. We can actually put it on here and show tightening a connector up when it tightens up. All of these just give better ways of helping people through courses. Because learning is difficult. Let's try and make it a little bit easier for you. That was all I had. Or are we going to take it in Turkish?
Or you'd like in Turkish.
So again, changing it, using different language, we can do it all. The possibilities are endless.
Thanks, Bill Petchy. Years ago when I was learning how to learn, if you like, one of the tips that stuck with me all these years is to get something to stick in your head, you review it within half an hour or so. And firstly, is that still true today, or the better ways? And if it is true, is there something in the online mechanism to encourage you to do that?
There's ways in here we can actually go in and say, hey, you haven't finished the course, you need to review it. We would recommend you went back again and went through the course again, started again. It's been too long. We try and break these down into areas so they're readable and you can actually answer the questions. Because without having that review, it doesn't stick. And that's why we also force you to go through the quizzes. It's not because we're being nasty. We also want to know that we've delivered the right content. We also want to know that it's understood. And understanding's the hardest part of it. That's why we talk about knowledge acquisition. It's like buying a business. You're acquiring something. What you do with it, if you acquire a business and do nothing with it, is it good to have it? Was it worthwhile? Are you going to use it? That's why we also want to tailor-make these courses so it fits the organisation it's going to. It also fits their way of learning. We do training in different countries. It can add to the excitement, and it can add, some people don't learn the same way by getting the information and retaining it. They have to learn by actually doing something. So again, the way of learning is different from person to person. But I would say having that review, making sure they go through the quiz, it forces you to know it. Once you've been through this, you can actually go back and review the whole course. You can actually go through more and more questions. Because these questions are random. We can be really annoying. So it's a set of 50. Are you going to take the course 50 times to get every single answer? We'll find out pretty quickly, and we'll just keep adding more questions for it.
Tony, can somebody who takes the course prints all the questions and answers for himself on a print?
Not really. I mean, that's what I just said. If you go through, you're going to have to go through it maybe 70 times to get all of those 50 questions. It's possible. But we'd also find out someone's going through the questions. That's why there's time limits also on the questions, to make sure you can't just sit there, print it off. If we look at the way we've done exams before, someone was sitting behind a computer taking the exam. Who was sitting behind that computer? Yeah. We've still got the same problem here. Who's sitting behind the computer? I mean, we could take a picture through the camera, but yeah, it's getting a bit weird, isn't it? It's not really what we want to do. But there are ways of doing it to make sure it's that person. So we can force them to log in and go through different ways. So